So it is July 13th at 1 p.m. and I'm calling to order the Board of Agenda or the Public Works meeting for tonight. The first item on the agenda is public appearances for non-agenda items, and we did receive an email for one comment to be heard. It is from Patrick Cheney, and it is in regards to the stormwater retention pond, so I'm just going to read his entire statement at this time. To the Board of Public Works, I ask this question: are stormwater retention ponds contributing to or causing our mosquito populations? When I moved to Fitchburg over 23 years ago, I experienced very few mosquitoes. Now swarms of mosquitoes are right outside my doors and on me as soon as we step outside. Are the stormwater ponds a factor? 20 years ago, there were no ponds nearby. Now I can quickly count over a dozen local ponds. I question if they are breeding mosquitoes. I recently saw a page on requirements for new public stormwater facilities in 6D Resolution R 2020, resolution to approve requirements for new city-maintained stormwater facilities, approved by the Board of Public Works on January 27th, 2020. It lists many requirements, but none on water quality or any mosquito control treatment. Why is this not a consideration for these ponds? This is a quality of life issue. There are virus and disease risks and summer enjoyment implication by mosquitoes. Page 168 of 247 in currently proposed 2020 CIP states, stormwater ponds need occasional dredging when excessive sediment builds up. For wet ponds, a minimum of 3-foot pond depth is necessary to obtain water quality credit for the pond to meet DNR water quality permit requirements. Dry ponds receive no water quality credit from DNR, which is why Fitchburg has historically converted dry ponds into wet ponds. What kind of water quality does DNR expect? What is this DNR credit for? What is it worth and how does Fitchburg benefit from these credits? Do we get DNR gold stars, but residents suffer mosquito bites in return? Isn't water quality to be clean and free of stagnant water promoting mosquito growth? Is there an office that can check all pond water for mosquito larvae and report on this? Possibly the UW Department of Entomology or Dane County Public Health at insectlab.russell.wisc.edu, medical arthropods as the website. Should our requirements for ponds include mosquito mitigation and control? Can ponds require either aerators or chemical treatment to prevent breeding larvae? Are any ponds treated now with chemicals to kill larvae? What is their water quality? Near me, the crossing has 2 ponds with aerators. As long as they are working, is this effective in reducing or eliminating mosquito populations? In McKee Park, one south pond has an aerator. If it is working, the north pond has none. This could be a good test site to compare effectiveness of aeration. Uptown and Fahey Fields recently added many ponds. Are these a contributing source? I ask this to be considered and actions taken to check on aerated pond effectiveness. Amend the stormwater pond requirements to include mandatory mosquito abatement. And that was just from Patrick. I don't know if, I apologize for not being in the building, but are there any other attendees that in the building that would like to speak? Bill, do you know?
No, there's no one.
Okay, thanks, sorry.
There's no one.
All right, so then I will move on to the third agenda item, which is the approval of minutes. And this is for June 1st and June 15th, that it's a carryover. I don't know if anyone would like to make a motion to approve or any changes.
I'll make a motion to approve can we do them both at the same time or do we have to do them separately?
I think we can do them both at the same time.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 1st and June 15th.
I'll second it.
Great. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Wonderful. Minutes approved. Move on to number 4, report from the department. Bill?
Construction is still going full steam ahead in Fitchburg. McKee Road is undergoing a traffic switch tonight where we're going to be closing down the south leg of the intersection overnight to install a stormwater pipe across the road, across Seminole Highway. And later on this month, we're going to be doing another traffic switch on the north side of the road where we're going to be reconstructing the area on the north side. So the pedestrian bridge has been on the south side of the road is being constructed, so you can start to see the walls going up for the pedestrian bridge on that area at the Badger State Trail. And looks like we're still on schedule to meet the deadline of November 15th. The Fish Hatchery Road construction, the new mainline paving has been being installed this week, or last week and this week. So we're planning on switching the traffic over to the new pavement next week on the 20th. So after that, we'll be constructing on the west side of the road in the area between Greenway Cross and Traceway Drive. So Crescent Crossing is a subdivision at the intersection of Seminole Highway and Lacey Road, the northeast corner there. They've installed the sanitary sewer and most of the water main, and we'll be starting the stormwater work there. So we're making progress on that one. The Commerce Park Drive extension from Sub-Zero Parkway to the south is receiving curb and gutter this week. So we're looking at sidewalk and pavement to be done probably within a month. The resurfacing bids have been reopened this past Thursday and came in about $100,000 under the engineer's estimate, which is encouraging but kind of deceiving because we had to take a big chunk of a road out in order to get the bid to meet that requirement. So the area would be Commerce Drive to the south of Cottonwood that we were planning on doing, that we're going to delay that pavement resurfacing to a future year just because we didn't have the funds to get it all in for this year. The Northeast utilities were bid out, and those bids came in about $400,000 to $500,000 under our engineer's estimate, which is very good. Again, we had to shuffle some projects around a little bit because we couldn't squeeze them all in this year. But in doing so, by pushing them off till next spring, we were able to give some flexibility to the contractor to allow them to give us better bids for that. So we got some really good prices on that. And both of those projects, the resurfacing and the Northeast utility, will be having a public hearing for assessments at the next meeting for Board of Public Works on the 20th. So you might want to start preparing for that. I'll send you out the report from the engineer's report for the assessment ahead of time, real soon, probably when I get back to the office, so that you have that to look it over, so you're prepared to see what kind of costs and project that you're going to be considering at that hearing next week. Yeah, that's pretty much it from our construction side of things. Engineering budgets are due in about 2 weeks for our operating budgets. I plan on giving a brief presentation to you next week on where we stand with budgets, so that if there's something that needs to change that I need to include into the budget for the following week for submission, that we can do that. For instance, like if you wanted to say we weren't doing a great job at snow plowing and you really felt that the community needed that service, then we would make accommodations to increase our staffing, or how we could meet those program goals that you feel are really important for Public Works. So I'll have a brief presentation of a summary kind of overview of our projects and programs next week, and then you can guide me this way and get input from you. So, all right.
Sounds great. For your presentation next week, is there anything you would recommend we would review to help aid in the conversation, or to prepare, or just kind of look forward to your presentation?
I'll send out a presentation that was done in the past that I'll kind of be using as an outline. And I'll send whatever documents I can, just to let you know what changes are coming forward. Like if there's a huge increase in a DNR fee that just so you know what's increasing, decreasing, staying the same type of thing. So
That sounds great. Thank you.
Bill, could you repeat what the public hearings are going to be on? I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing.
Sure. The first project is going to be for the resurfacing project.
Okay,
We're assessing for curb and gutter, sidewalk, and driveway along Commerce Park Drive. There's 5 parcels, 5 parcels that are involved with that one. And then the other one is the Northeast Utility Extension, which is extending new water main down West Clayton Road and County Highway MM toward Terra Vesa. So this project will start at Cyene Road, head up West Clayton Road, under the Highway 14 to MM. Then it's going to come south on MM down to the Terra Vesa subdivision to connect into there. There's 58 parcels on that will have an assessment for water main. And their assessment costs range from like $6,400 to up to several $100,000 depending on the size of the parcel and the development type along that route.
so you are expecting some people who are being assessed to attend the meeting to ask questions? Is that a fair assumption?
It is. Typically, we have the majority of the residents who we send assessments to attend the meeting. And how we're handling it this time is that we will have space available within our council chambers where we can have up to 10 people. We also have 2 overflow rooms that people could attend or wait to give their comment to the public, to the Board of Public Works when they're called up. They can also participate via Zoom if they provide the city with information regarding their email address, their telephone number, their name, and what item they're going to be speaking toward. They can also call into the city council chambers to attend via phone. So we've provided a lot of different ways for people to give their public comment regarding the assessment that we're issuing.
And then are we going to be asked to vote or approve the assessments at the meeting next Monday? Or is there time after listening to all the public comments to gather some more information and do some thinking about it? Or are you expecting action on the assessments at the same meeting?
Yes, we're asking the, I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay, all right.
Process that Fitchburg follows is a little bit different from the one I've used in other communities, so I don't want to speak out of turn on this one.
Okay.
Any other comments on the department report? Okay, so we'll move on to the review item, and this is for the May P card purchases and June checks. I don't know, Bill, if there's anything in particular you wanted to call out, or I guess I'm not sure if we should be looking for specific things. I was unsure.
The P cards that and checks that we issue are for our typical maintenance that we have within Public Works. And it's just, your chance to question it's, why did you buy this? Or, what's this for? It's just more of an informational thing that, as we spend your money, as we spend the taxpayer money to hold us accountable for what we do. And if there's any questions on why we bought this or what this was used for, I can answer those.
I have one question for the POs. Is there a PO dictionary or are these kind of standard POs of the 2599 and the 2387 and 2307, I guess? Are those standard ones, or is there a PO dictionary that I should know of and I just don't?
Which one are you referring to?
Just the purchase order numbers that I don't know if those are, I'm just trying to think of how, like I usually think of those as being project billable hours. But am I thinking about it incorrectly, or does the
No,
PO dictate kind of a project or a specific area that's being billed?
yeah,
The ones that are in red, like just those couple, that only a couple of them have the PO numbers?
Yeah, yep,
yeah, the PO numbers are, they're part of our maintenance program. And anytime we have a purchase that's over $2,500, our policy is to require a purchase order on those. And sometimes we pay those with a credit card, and sometimes we pay them through a check. So anytime we have a PO, especially with the meters, we know that we're going to buy $150,000 worth of meters during the year, and it just consolidates how we pay for those under that, so we don't have to issue a new purchase order for each individual meter. We just issue one for the entire project, and then as we purchase those, you'll see those on this list.
got it, thank you.
So I had a question, and maybe this answers the same thing like the Baker Tilly, why there were 3 ones for the exact same amount of money, all labeled 2019 utility final audit. Is it because to get on this P card, they have to be under $2,500? So you broke it down into 3, or I guess I was a little confused as why there's 3 of the exact same thing.
I'll have to get back to you on that one. It might have been for a specific line item on the Baker Tilly invoice, and it might have been for 3 quarters. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to ask the finance director on that one.
All right, any other questions on the P card review? And these don't need to be voted on, there's no action, correct? It is just a review?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, so then I'll move on to our one action item of the night. It's resolution R12320. Would I have a motion to approve?
I so move we approve resolution number R-123-20.
I'll second that motion.
Wonderful, thank you. And Bill, can you give us an overview of this?
Sure. On an annual basis, we're required to submit an annual maintenance compliance manual. Holy moly, it's been a day. Sorry about that. Our compliance maintenance annual report, CMAR, where we evaluate our sanitary sewer system with regard to our operations and our financial capability. We rank everything on a point scale from 0 to 4, with 0 being the worst and 4 being the best. So it's and our goal is to achieve a 4.0 on our operation, maintenance, and financing. We have received a 4.0 again this year, as we have for many, many years in the past. And so it just indicates that we're doing what we need to do to maintain a good sewer maintenance system, a good maintenance program, and a good financial system to back that maintenance and operation of the system. The DNR requires it annually and requires that the public be made aware of our program and our policy to adopt or recognize that the report has been filed. So that's what this ordinance or this resolution is indicating, as a resolution to accept the annual report, and so that we can file that with the Department of Transportation.
I have a question on number 4, future planning on page 3 of 12. Just the Woods Hollow Interceptor extension, you have the construction year is 2019, so if you're filing this now, why do we have one that has a previous year on it?
This was one that was constructed in 2020. So while it was, the approximate construction year was 2019, we actually did it in 2020. And we included that in there as part of our ongoing construction.
Okay. So let's see, I had one other question too. On page 6, question number like 1.3, does your program contain the following components? And then you have listed these 7 things. Did you accomplish them? And then it says no. And it says the utility did not use iWater for entering in manhole inspection information, but that using iWater for entering that wasn't listed in one of your goals. So I was a little bit confused there.
I'm sorry, what page was that?
Page 6 of 12, and then 1.3 in the about middle of the page, upper middle. Describe the major goals you had for your collection system last year, okay? And then I read these 7 goals, and then it says, did you accomplish them? And you said no. And if said no, explain. And then it says the utility did not use iWater for entering in manhole inspection information. But I didn't see that in the goals.
Yeah, it is right here.
Unless I'm missing something. So I was confused as to why it said you did not accomplish them when that one wasn't even listed as one of the goals.
It was part of, it's kind of a sub goal of number 6, where it's maintain our annual cleaning, inspection, and maintenance program.
Okay,
And one of the goals within that one was to use iWater to document that information.
okay,
And we did not do that, but we still we do document all of our inspections. It's just paper. We just didn't use the computer part of it.
I figured maybe it was some type of a subset of one of those, but I couldn't really pick out which one it would be. And it just looked sort of funny reading it to say you didn't meet a goal that you didn't have stated as a goal, so.
Right, we can clarify that.
Any other questions on this one? Like you said, Bill, this is just submitting it, correct? That we're voting on kind of the report that's being filed, and this is to submit that annual report?
Yes, and we'll take into account the comments that were made by the Board of Public Works and any public that we get before submitting it.
I don't mean to rush, but any other questions or concerns?
That's all I had.
All right, then I'll take it to vote. All those in favor of approving resolution R12320, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? All right, the resolution passes. So then the next is just the announcements. The next Public Works is July 20th, and Bill does have it called out that there will be that public hearing. And you'll let us know at that time as to kind of what the action is expected, and otherwise, is there a motion for an adjournment?
I'll move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Wonderful, meeting's adjourned. That was quick tonight.